Hey y'all, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, and today we're going to be doing the Creative Landscape Bonsai Challenge that Gail from GG Evergreen Bonsai created. Sorry, I have notes written down here because my memory is absolutely awful. So, here's the rules to it. It has to have a special feature. It has to contain one bonsai that you have styled or plan to style at this given time. And you have to be outside your comfort zone. Then you need to make a short of it and make a tutorial video. Well, this is my tutorial video. Outside my comfort zone, I've never made a landscape bonsai, so that's outside my comfort zone. I planned on hand whittling a bobcat and building a bamboo bridge. So let's get to it. Alright, so I believe we're at a good angle here. I didn't think I had this one tied in. I'm just gonna give it a little squish here. Oh yeah, this soil is way too wet. So, first things first, I'm being extra gentle here as I'm raking this out. I don't know if you remember, but this tree was the one I bought from Walmart, and it was pretty much just completely dead. And I just went through and all I did was trim all the dead leaves and branches off of it, put it in a pot, and just let it rest. That was it. That was all I did with it. And it turned around and it's looking great. I've trimmed this back like 4 times already this year, so everything about it I am very, very happy with. And then today it's finally going to be repotted for the first time. Wow, this actually has a really nice root base. So I've never even actually seen the root base or anything for this. It does not have many roots, but it does not look bad. It does not look bad at all. So let's just try to get a little bit more of that wet soil out. So we've got that there. You'll notice I put that nice little thing of plastic wrap down. That was pretty much so I can just, I have a bucket underneath here where I'm just putting all my recycled soil. So there we go, into the recycled soil bucket. Now we'll come back out here. All right, so I'm just gonna give the roots a quick rinse here. I've been thinking about this challenge that Gail gave me here for a little while because I've never really done anything remotely like this at all as far as the landscapes go. Like around around Halloween, I thought it would be funny to go and put little zombie stick figures inside my pots, but that was about as far as I went. All right, so those roots are looking great. I'm not going to trim any roots, but I still wanted to check them out here. So now we've got that done. I cannot believe from Walmart, and it actually just wow. That's all I can say is just wow. I'm very impressed at this. I'm wondering if they had trimmed like all the roots off and I've had just a cutting from them, and maybe that's what the deal was. I'm not sure for certain, but that seems plausible. So I know I said I wasn't going to do any root trimming, but this one root is just crazy long, so I'm going to trim that and that, and that's going to be it, because now I just want to get a little look here. And I believe what I'm going to do is end up putting this on over to the side over here, is what my thoughts are. So I think I'm going to end up using I'm going to use this as my front. because this branch is coming, but it's coming at that angle, and that one's going at that angle. So that kind of gives me, yeah, it's not really coming directly towards me. So I'm going to use that as my front here. Alright, so all I'm going to do is get the soil put in and run a wire up through to lock this down in place. So let me get that done and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we've got the little tree in here now. I didn't really do anything too spectacular with it. I sat it in, I put the wire in to lock it in place. You'll see I planted at a little bit of an angle running that way. Now I am going to do a little bit of root maintenance here because the roots are going to become a problem if I don't. So that one was running at a really sharp angle back the opposite way, and I didn't want that, so that one's back out. The rest of these, I think they're going to be alright the way that they're running, so I'm not overly concerned with that. So my thought here is I really like this rock, but I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about incorporating these rocks into it. I'm wondering if I almost just mount the one rock in here, and then we're just gonna, this is how I'm adding soil right here, guys, in case you're wondering. There we go. So I added some more soil, and I just want to really get the soil mounded more around through there. So there's some interesting stuff mixed into that because it is all, a lot of it's all the floor sweepings. So this is 50/50 Superfly Bonsai potting soil mixed with 50% Fish Farms, just regular potting soil. So I'm pretty sure right there is about how I want to run that one in there. In the process of doing that, I created a gap in the back, so I'm going to fill that in. Alright, so now I've got some fill back through there, and everything's looking good in there. So now, I actually want to bring this up a little bit higher here. I'm going to pull so that it's actually going to bump up the soil's edge more along over to this side right here. Do I like that? I do not really like that at all. That's a tough one. I think I'm going to get rid of this rock. Alright. So that rock is gone. Can I get away with this one up here in the middle? Or does that not look right? Do I pop it more to the side right here? I think so. Let me feed a little bit more soil. Alright, got some more soil up through here. Get everybody situated down and in. And that is going to allow me to get this little one in at an angle right in here. So then my thought is my bobcat will actually be perched up on top of here, standing, just checking out what's going on, because that's what my bobcats do. They perch and they stand and they check out what's going on. So that's my plan for there. Let me grab up some of my little moss here. So my thought is to use some of these whiter pebbles, and I'm going to use those as almost like a pond. So let me get this soil watered up real quick, and then we'll get back to getting everything laid out. So I'm going to get it soaked in water, and then I will be right back with you. Alright, so now we're good and balanced out. So we're just going to come in here and put in some white stones almost as a little water feature here. Let me just get you adjusted a little bit. Okay, so now you're up in the air for me. There we go. So now you can see this. So all we're going to do is just add a little bit of some crushed white stone in here. I think it's a crushed white quartz. And I want that to flow just kind of, come on, there we go, just nicely through there right now. So now I'm going to grab up some moss here, and for around there I have some thinner moss here that I think will look great as like a almost like just grass just traveling around. So let's just get that all packed down and in there. Again, I appreciate Gail giving me this challenge, because this isn't something I would have even thought of doing if she wouldn't have challenged me to do it. Landscapes are just not something I ever really looked into. So I appreciate that, Gail. Definitely a good little challenge you gave me here. Alright, I'm going to switch over to tweezers now, because now I'm going to be moving around you a little bit more. And then I do anticipate adding multiple different types of moss here, because they all kind of have their own little personality to give to this planting. And I spent quite a few days looking into this just to see what can I do to try and impress you guys. Weird, right? Something we do for fun, but at the same time I'm trying to impress you guys with what I can do with the material that I have here. And it's not going to be super impressive, so I hope you're not like, oh man, he's about to do something awesome because this is going to be so impressive now. No, it's probably not going to be super impressive, but it's impressive for me because it's something I never intended to try. So since I never intended to try it and I'm trying it, yay for me. Alright, so that is going to be more or less just the little grassy knolls here. Just a little road to travel. And it's been raining a lot lately, so the moss outside looks great. I actually just collected all of this today. And then obviously, as you can tell, since my Fukun tea is alive, I don't keep it outside. Just in case you were wondering. Let me see here. I just want to clean up the bottom of this one a little bit. And I want this little guy to sit almost as if it's a little bush just hanging out there. I mean, if you want to see a great example of moss used as bushes, Nigel did an absolute phenomenal job. And I forget which one it was, but his one setup that he has is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I wish I could remember, but I can't. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this longer stuff here now and run this along the back side and just really work that down and in there, just to kind of give it a multi-dimensional type of look. There we go. We'll get a little bit right there. And some of the moss that I was picking out there is actually starting to flower as well, so that's pretty cool. To me, it's pretty cool. I still have a little opening right here, so I'm just gonna get another little piece of this small moss and just mush that. All right. Actually, change plans there. We'll take a bigger piece here. Sorry, I'm trying to give you guys a good view and at the same time be able to see myself what I'm trying to do. It's hard. Like, I have a vision in my head, but at the same time it's kind of like, yes, you have a vision, but things change as you go. So now I got that one there. I'm just going to open that space up a little bit so I can just put in another one of these random guys around through here. All right. So as we make this progress here, we're just going to keep packing the moss in. So let me finish putting the moss in and then I'll be right back with you. All right, so moss is in place, stone is in place. I actually made this little bamboo bridge to go across, just as an extra little look. Let me take you up for a second so you can have a better view of it, looking down. I think it's just got a really cool look to it. We'll do a nice view around it once I get it all finished up here towards the end. But for now, we need to trim some of these branches because they're a little bit out of control and they're growing way too straight. So let's begin that process here. These little guys are doing great. I'm actually probably not going to do too much with these, with the exception of take off just a very, very few number of leaves here. And the only reason why is because they are touching each other, and I don't like when they're touching each other. It just doesn't do what I'm looking for out of it. So that's what we're doing first here, just taking off a few of these little guys in hopes that we get some good branches that are going to come in later anyway. So that's really what we're hoping for the most part, is to get more branching coming in. In here we have these two branches which are touching, so I'm actually going to get rid of that whole little piece right there. I know you're probably thinking, why didn't you do this prior to getting everything all cleaned up and nice looking? Well, sometimes that's just how I do things, not thought all the way through. So we've got those leaves cleaned off, and it's running clean almost all the way back until we get all the way to the back in here. Then we really needed to get in there and clean that up, because that is a mess. Sorry, I should probably bring my little table in here that actually spins around so I'm not scraping it against the ground and making you listen to that. So just got that little one cleaned up. Now we're going to come in here and clean up closer back in on this side. We have all these that are just intertwining, so I'm actually just going to come in here and meticulously trim each leaf that I do not want. So that's taking care of these leaves right there. Alright, so just continuing on through here. I'm just going to take off this bigger leaf. We'll leave the smallest leaves. How about that? That's a downward growth. This whole grouping in here is just not where I wanted at. And this big old leaf's growing back towards it. So I know there's a lot of craziness going on through here, and I haven't done a lot of deciding what's going on with it, because when I originally got it, I wasn't sure if it was even going to survive. So I'm literally about stuck everywhere I can be with it. And I think for this one, I'm actually going to cut back to there. Alright, so then for the time being, I'm going to come in here, and I left a little bit extra on there, but I'm going to take some wire and actually get this whole piece wired up a little bit differently than how it's running. I'm going to wire this one, and I'm going to wire this one. And then with a lot of these other ones, I'm just going to hope that eventually they give me something to wire. Because as of right now, there's not too much to work with. And like I said before, that's okay. But I need to come up with something. Alright, so let me finish trimming up a few of these leaves, and I'll come back to you once I get the wire on. Alright, so here we are. Got some wire on. First things first. I don't know what first things first is. I have to figure out where I want to start. Okay, so I think, all in all, I know this is growing pretty straight up, but I think I'm going to let that one alone because I'm not 100% sure where I want to go with it. On this front one right here, it's growing up, but I want it to come down, and then I want to bring it out to this side just a bit. Let's let these open back up. And just give it a little bit of movement like that. Alright, so now let me put you from the front here. From the front, we're definitely giving it just a little bit more movement here. And I know that this branch is going to end up growing towards us, but we can deal with that when that happens. We may even cut this, grab that with a wire, and put it in a completely different direction altogether. So now, the next one we want to deal with is this one over here. And this one, I'm going to take and I'm going to push it down. And I'm going to push it out. I'm actually going to bring this one back up. And then down. But we still need this really down back here. And then on this little back piece, we're going to bring it up, over, up, and then down. So we're adding some dimension to this whole piece right now. We're going to leave this one alone. Let me come back in here one more time. And down. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so now I'm just going to come over here and bring it down. Oh, excellent. This wire works way better than what I was anticipating. So we're just going to give this branch a whole lot of crazy movement here and see exactly what we can get out of it as it grows. So at this point, we are going to just bring this one back and forwards to the side, and keep bringing it forward as we work it back and around into the other way to basically just give it a little bit more dimension here. So now that I did that, we need to get some of these leaves cleaned up just a tidbit. I want to leave that one bottom leaf. Sorry, I'm back to leaf pruning again because I didn't plan that out very well when I was wiring. I have a few touching back here. Alright, so for now, I know you're probably wondering why I didn't do anything with this. Because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I may just completely get rid of that altogether and take this and twist it. Twist this big old branch right here all the way up on the side and just... Or I may get rid of this entire piece over here and really plant this thing at an angle way over, and this becomes the main leader right here, and these would be the two side branches. Not 100% sure, but once I get my bobcat finished up, I will get it placed and we will be all finished with our landscape bonsai. Alright, I'll be back with you when I get that done. Alright, the moment is here. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I have everything. There we go. We have our hand carved bobcat. We have our stone. We have our tree. We have our bamboo walk that goes over top of the Whitestone River. Oh no. And it looks like I am officially out of super glue, which I was planning on using to attach my little man to the thing, but I cannot. So that's it right there. We have it. Let me pop you off and we'll go for a nice little tour. Alright, so that was definitely a fun challenge. The whittling part I didn't put in this video. I actually didn't really even record much of that at all. I just did that for fun one day. I was sitting by the fire and decided to whittle myself a bobcat, and so I have a bobcat, hand whittled, that is now stained and put up inside this landscape. The bridge I did also build, but I figured I'm not going to add that into this video either. Let's just focus on building the landscape, not on building the items for the landscape. So that was what I did. I focused on building a landscape. As you saw through the little tour there, it is set up with a fucking tea tree. Then it has a little rock that comes out from there. The white is to emulate a river that's running down through. So then I put the bamboo bridge over top of that river, and the bobcat stands perched on the stone, kind of like how you see my bobcat for Bobcat Bonsai everywhere. He's just sitting or standing on a stone, staring out into the distance. So that was my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for who I will be challenging in the near future, that I expect them to be doing their landscape video. Alright, thank you. Please hit the like button, helps me out greatly. Comment on the video below what you thought. Who did better, me or Gail? It was Gail, but you can say it was me, so that Gail thinks I did better than what she did. Alright, and then if you really do enjoy my content, hit the bell notification, and you'll be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.